To the assessor's office, please press 1. The clerk's office, please press 2. For human resources, please press 3. For development services and building permits, please press 4. For the Ada County Sheriff's Office, please press 5. For the Treasurer's Office, please press 6. For all other departments, please press 0. Thank you.
Wait while I transfer your call. All calls are recorded for quality assurance. Please listen carefully to all menu items. You have reached the Ada County Clerk's Office. Did you know you can pay your fines online? For more information, press pound. If you need to research cases, you can go online to www.idcourt.us, www.idcourts.us. For office hours, address, and fax number, press 1. For traffic tickets, press 2. For felony or misdemeanor violations, press 3. For civil matters, press 4. For all family matters, divorce, domestic violence, child support, press 1. For small claims or civil cases, press 2. For adult. Please hold while your call is transferred. Ada County Civil Court.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to find out how I can get to the federal courthouse.
Federal courthouse?
Yeah. That's what number I thought I filed. That I called.
Okay, this is the Ada County Courthouse, not the federal courthouse. The federal courthouse is on Fort Street.
Okay, what's their number?
Well, let me see.
That's where I was at. I went on web, and that's the number that I thought I called. Would you know if there's been something filed in a federal court?
I would not. That's a different court level.
Okay.
Their address is 550 West 4th Street. Number is 334 1074.
Okay. Now, I also noticed on your webpage that it was saying that something about mental parts have been, there's been an increase. Is there a section that handles mental part of the courts?
You mean mental health cases?
Yes.
There are certain cases like that, but they're sealed.
Oh, really? Well, that's where I need to try to find out if my record is sealed, and I don't know about it because of some circumstances that I've run into.
Is this a federal case that you're talking about?
Well,
county-state case.
Well, that's where I'm a little confused at, because over the periods of time and the alterations of all these documents that I have, and then finding out in a phone conversation by some attorneys that something was filed on my behalf because of my capacity, supposedly, but so what I'm trying to find out is if my case is involved in one of those, and I guess the only way that I would be able to find out is if I came in person.
Well, if you're the party to the case, you would have to show ID.
Okay.
But if it's entirely sealed, you would have to do a request to inspect, even though you are a party to such a case, and the judge would have to grant that allowance for you to view the file or something specific in it.
Okay, and there's a specific judge that you have to go to?
Yes, most likely whatever judges assign that case, but I can't tell you anything about the case or I can't acknowledge the existence of it. It's sealed.
Okay, well then that's why I'm going to have to go to the federal courthouse here in Portland. Okay, and what was that called again? The mental court? Mental court? Is it?
They're usually considered like, we have a treatment court here in Boise. Here at the Ada County Courthouse, it's called Mental Health Court.
Oh, there it is. mental
health court. It's a specialty court.
Yeah, I think that's where I was put
And
at.
there are hospitalization cases. HO is the subtype, and they are handled and held at the juvenile court.
Nope. Even if it's an adult court? I mean, even if it's an adult?
Well, they're handled there and they're kept there.
Oh, I see. They're handled there and kept there.
Yes.
Okay.
Our magistrate judges there. But those are for those that go into the mental health hospital or something like that for treatment. They're not in the specialty court because of a crime. The mental health court is usually someone who committed a crime and they're receiving treatment so they can get back out into society.
Yeah, that's what I think they've done.
Crime.
Okay, because I was
for those that it's more severe and they.
Okay, if I say if I was hospitalized, you know, like 2 times in regards to a injury, and I think that's where they're going to. I think that's where they tried to pull this at, because of the law firm that accidentally slipped during a phone conversation, and said, and then I found something in my records that was given to me after everything got done, but something had been filed on my behalf, but she won't be honest with me. So I'm trying to find out exactly again, because I went through this once before, but you know, now where I'm at now, it's even more critical because of my deadlines, and because when you look up my case number, supposedly, when you look up my name through the courts that I went through, you can't find my court case number.
Yeah, it'll probably be sealed.
Well, not if I went to a Supreme Court in regards to the same case that I think had already been done and is sealed.
If it's a county case, to us it would be sealed.
Okay, so then if I say I went through a Supreme Court and I just did this, you should still be able to see that on the records. Am I right or wrong?
I don't know in that regard. Sorry, I'm not familiar with that level.
Okay, so if I gave you a docket number, supposedly that I have, you should be able to look it up for me, ma'am?
Not if it's a Supreme Court docket number. I don't have access to their records.
Supreme Court docket number. How about appellate court?
Nope, that's a different level.
That's where the corruption goes on.
We're a county. If someone is a county, say here, we have magistrate court. If it gets appealed, it goes up to a district judge. If their decision is appealed, it goes up to the appellate. It goes to our appeals clerk, and he prepares it for the Supreme Court.
Okay.
It can either, act on it or, remand it back to district.
Okay, and if it was remanded back to district, yeah, because remitter, those means it was remitted back.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if it was remitted back, would you have a case on that?
We would, because it would have come from us.
Okay, then.
They might assign it, their own case number, for their records.
Okay.
Because they have.
Go ahead.
They have their own clerk's office.
Steve Kenyon. Okay.
He's their clerk of the court.
Yes, he is.
He would get their own case number, but they would receive it from us with our case number, but they could assign it their own for their records there.
Okay, if I give you my name, would you be able to look this case up?
I could see, but it would only give access to what we have.
Okay, my name is...
Okay, just a moment. And it's a civil case?
Well, it came from the Industrial Commission.
Okay, yeah, it should be civil. What's your last name?
Clark, C-L-A-R-K.
Okay.
No E.
Okay.
My first name is James.
James?
And my middle name, my middle initial is W.
Okay.
And my date of birth is 11/10/58.
Okay. It's just doing its little hourglass thing.
Yeah. Wow. Miniatures. Really, ma'am. Now, what if I...
Match on name entered.
Okay, now what if I was to tell you that I have a remitter that I received, and also an opinion in regards to a remitter that was sent back to the commission? Because again, I wasn't supposed to make it this far, but I have, because this is my life, and not theirs that they tried to destroy. Well, they have destroyed it.
Okay, so the commission?
The Industrial Commission.
Industrial Commission. So they opened a actual physical case, or is this just something that's handled in their office? Where they...
No, ma'am. I even have my CD of my oral argument that I supposedly also had went to.
Okay, so did you appear in front of a judge?
Oh, I went before a panel of judges.
A panel. Okay.
Okay. Well, then I think I better go to the federal courthouse here in Portland, then, because I'm not going to get justice in Idaho. Because, again, I have 2 years worth of work and paperwork that I've been put through mentally. And everybody wants to wonder why I'm angry. I have a right to be angry. Now I definitely do, because thank you very much, ma'am. I do appreciate your honesty with me.
Sure.
Okay, and so obviously there's no case, and there's no case in regards to well, if I gave you the Industrial Commission's number, would you be able to look it up that way?
Their number, like their phone number?
No, their a docket number that I was given through the Industrial Commission.
Well, I could only search by their name, and it probably would bring up a lot of cases.
Yeah, okay.
Or the early 90s, so the hourglass would go for quite a while.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, well, if I gave you a specific date?
No, I can't search by date. I can only search by the party case search, which is names or companies.
Okay, James Clark.
And that's what I did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No
Okay.
match on name entered.
Okay. And how about the law firm? Anderson, Julian Hall.
Anderson, Julian Hall. I could search by the firm or the attorney, but that would be on any existing cases that they're currently working on. Not past ones, because they may have withdrawn after the end of it.
Well, they haven't withdrawn because...
they haven't done a notice of withdrawal?
Not that well, they're not my attorneys. They're the attorneys representing the state insurance.
They're currently, so they're currently representing the Industrial Commission?
Well,
is that who they're representing?
Well, they're representing supposedly the state insurance fund, because I caught the state fund, I caught the state insurance fund work comp committing fraud, and if I have to report fraud, they're the ones that I got to call.
Okay, so who is the attorney that's representing them specifically? Do you know?
Yeah.
I would need the actual attorney's name.
Okay, Rachel O'Barr.
Okay.
Or Mr. Hall.
Attorneys.
I do appreciate
you. You said like Mr. Hall or something O'Hara?
O'Barr. It's spelled O, and then it's got that little
apostrophe.
Yeah, up there on the top. And then the B-A-R.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy.
O apostrophe A-R?
No, B-A-R. It's O apostrophe B-A-R. O'Barr.
Oh. Well, they're not listed in the attorney list, so he or whoever this attorney is might be new, or they haven't entered under their new name, or if they've been married, or whoever.
Huh?
But they're not entered. They're listed as an attorney.
Okay, how about
either they've married and they're now taking the name, but they haven't registered
I see.
With our listing.
Okay, how about the firm of Anderson, Julian, and Hall?
I can't search by the law firm. I would need the attorney's name.
Okay, Mr. Hall.
The other one you mentioned?
Hall, H-U-L-L.
H-U-L-L?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it Alan or Tevis?
Alan Hall, thank you.
Okay.
I just found out I only have until January of next year. My 5 years will be up. But I've been fighting it every day, so, but I, it's,
Well, I'm not finding anything. So he might be assisting, but he might not be the lead attorney.
Well, wow, man.
That's the best I have.
Okay, well, he's the one that presented oral argument. I have the thing right here, which, he's, because I got things from Steve Kenyon over there at, at the Supreme Court, I guess. And then, okay, I'm really floored right now, but I do appreciate your help, ma'am. And again, I appreciate your honesty with me. I really do.
Okay.
It's been
all right.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Oh, baby. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. This is what I mean. It's not there. But I've been made to believe that it is. I mean, I went through 2 years, well, since May 2nd of 2012. I have fought the Idaho State Industrial Commission's findings of facts and conclusions of law that they have posted. And this is why. Because where is this case? Because my case, here's there's a reference letter to Miss Rachel O'Barr, in regards to my case. Of June 11th of 2010. Matter of fact, this is from my attorney, Lynn, who is also involved in my case. So, Lynn, what did you help the State Insurance Fund do? And the Industrial Commission? Because, again, it's not right. Obviously, I have every right to be angry, everyone. And this is why. I'm going to show you now. I have showed you now what I'm going through when I have to try to look this stuff up. There's nothing. I'm not here for lying. I am an injured worker who almost lost his life on a job. And what they've done is they've taken this injury that I've had on an elbow. Ouch. Boom, boom. This little scar right here. Well, let me see if you can see it. Well, I have a little scar right here. It's just a little one about right here to right here. Okay? But what they've done is they've taken this previous injury and associating it with this injury. This one right here. Where I have this big old, imprint in my hand, and the injury of the real injury, where my arm was almost taken in my life. Okay, now what they've done is they're saying, what they've done is they've taken my doctor's 2005 records, because he's the same one that did the surgery on my crush injury of April 17th of 2008. But he's not the one that did the surgery on my elbow. Because when I started seeing him, their medical provider said that he's not an HMO or whatever, so I have to find another doctor when he suggested surgery. So I had to go find another one, and I did, and he did do the surgery. So what they've done is they've taken my doctor's, I'm not going to, they've taken my doctor in relation to my crush injury, taken his old records, and altered them in to make it look as my elbow. Because I had talked with Associated Press one day over the phone, which is verifiable because, phone records. And a gentleman that I was speaking with, he happened to ask me, well, how's your arm doing? Well, it wasn't, it did kind of like, well, what do you think? But then again, it wasn't until a few days later that I realized, well, wait a minute, because I started reading things, and the way it was starting to read is they were making my injury to look like as if it was my elbow injury, to take away this part of the injury, that really I can no longer do the work that I'm accustomed to, and I am totally disabled. So they have made me believe for 2 years a state insurance fund and their attorneys, the one that you have to call to report fraud. But these are the people that committed the fraud on me and their attorneys. Anderson, Julian, and Hall. Miss Rachel O'Barr, she is on all these written documents that I have. Her signature is on about 90% of them. I have things from Steve Kenyon, clerk of the courts. I have documents from, it's unreal. I can't believe that I did make it this far. But I'm blessed that I did. Because now I am going to go. Because we are running late this morning. But I'm glad we are. Because now I have on record that I tried to contact a court in regards to my claim. And it's nowhere around. And it was recorded. So I can remember the thing. So I can go back and look and try to say, okay, well, she said this. So, I wasn't asking anything that wasn't associated to me. So, again, here it is. The corruption in Idaho. These people need to be held accountable for their actions. And I am about to do this. I will be going to downtown Portland, Oregon to show why something needs to be done on my behalf. I'm broke. I want an investigation. I want these people held accountable. I want damages. I'm living on a little bit of Social Security. I'd rather have the money that they're supposed to be giving me than the Social Security. Give this Social Security to somebody that needs it. I need it. Don't get me wrong. But, to me, I want to feel as a whole, man. You guys' lies and in all this stuff here. I mean, I'm going to let you go because I've got to go. So, y'all take care. And again, me and Elaine Kerr, we're headed for the federal building in downtown Portland, Oregon. And I will demand justice.